I spent a good amount of time traveling across Canada, from Vancouver to Alberta all the way to Halifax and Newfoundland. But the one place I've never really explored is Quebec. And it's not because I don't think Quebec is cool. In fact, I know it's cool because it's full of mountains, historic buildings, and great shops. It's just that living in Ontario, it's one of those places that you kind of always think I'll eventually get to. But that day kind of never happens. About a year or so ago, when it was finally safe to travel again, my fiance and I started trying to figure, where exactly do we want to go on our first trip. So at first we started thinking about going somewhere international because again, it had been a couple years since we'd flown anywhere international. But at that time we were still a little bit weary of getting on a plane. We kind of decided against it and figured a road trip might be the best option, for us at that time. And then that's when we kind of finally realized, this would be the perfect time to go and see Quebec. So that's exactly what we did. We packed up our car, made a playlist for the road, and we headed right there. And honestly, it was amazing. It was one of the best trips we've ever been on. The mountains there were, not quite as rocky as the Rockies out west, but they were scenic in their own right. After saying all that, would I recommend going? Absolutely. And if it's never been, top of your list, or if you're from Canada and you're kind of like us and figure you'll do it eventually, well, I'm here to tell you it might be worth doing now. So don't go anywhere, because I'm going to show you 3 of the top things that we did there to hopefully sway you to plan a trip there too. So without further ado, here are 3 top things that you can do in Quebec. Number 1, Old Montreal. Montreal is a pretty cool city itself, but the area of Old Montreal is like a mini European oasis. The streets are made of cobblestone, the buildings are historic, and there are plenty of restaurants, cafes, and art galleries to keep you entertained. The main site here, however, is Notre Dame Cathedral. The entry lineups can be long, but it's well worth the wait to see its interior. If you only have time to visit Montreal on your trip to Quebec, make sure you at least stop into Old Montreal. Number 2, the Laurentian Mountains. The Laurentians are a mountain range that spans across southern Quebec, meaning you can access them from a variety of locations throughout the province. One of the most common ways to access them, though, is Montreal, as you can easily go from city life to mountain views in under an hour. The great thing about Quebec and the Laurentians is that there are tons of epic, beautifully designed cottages and cabins where you can enjoy the mountain views while sitting beside a fire. And of course, if you like skiing and snowboarding, there are plenty of great ski hills in the area, including Montreal. Number 3, Quebec City. Located just 3 hours away from Montreal, Quebec City feels like a completely different world. It is similar to Old Montreal, given that Quebec City has a very European vibe as well. However, Quebec City turns that magic up a notch. In fact, you wouldn't be mistaken for thinking you'd actually been transported to an old city in Europe. Again, there are tons of great restaurants and shops here, but the real joy of the area is just walking around and marveling at all of the architecture. Walking around in the winter is particularly enjoyable, as it almost feels as if you've been transported inside a snow globe. And that's it. Those are some of our top things to do in Quebec. If you like this video and you'd like to see more travel guides like it, please subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching.